Let's talk to Nabila Ramdani about this now. She's live in London, a journalist who specialises in the region. Nabila, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves and say this is going to tip off unrest and revolutions all over North Africa. But the factors are in place for that, are they not?
Indeed, a lot of protests are taking place now in various countries in the region, precisely because they are faced with similar socio-economic problems as Tunisia. In Egypt, a third man set fire to himself, and many others are doing the same thing in Mauritania and Algeria as well. However, things do not seem to have taken off in Egypt, for example, where the population is simply just too poor to be distracted, dare I say, by taking to the streets. They first and foremost want to make sure that they have bread on the table. In Egyptian Arabic, bread refers to life, which is something that is vital and yet not guaranteed. In Algeria, there have been en masse protests against soaring commodity prices, but the government have now calmed the protests for the moment. And without profound reforms and indeed greater civil liberties, this relative peace is unlikely to last.
Is it enough to really rattle those leaders, though? As you say, it's not taken hold fully yet, but, I mean, leaders of other countries, they're effectively on warning now.
Very much so. I mean, the very act of setting fire to oneself has now come to symbolize utter despair and an urgent will to bring about political reform and indeed democracy to the region. There have been similar protests in Yemen, for example. In Sudan, a man was arrested for calling for reforms. And even in Libya, Gaddafi is now fearing similar threats to his authority. Thousands of Libyans have now occupied homes which are now being built by foreign contractors at the weekend. Right. They have set fire to government offices, for example, and Colonel Gaddafi has reinforced security measures.
Just quickly, Nabila, on Tunisia itself, I don't know if you heard our correspondent before saying there's apparently an announcement coming about a change which will satisfy all parties. We don't know what it is, but it does show that this government understands that the will of the people is very important here and that they can't fight it forever.
Absolutely. I mean, the political crisis in Tunisia at the moment is summed up by the fact that this new government of national unity is on the brink of collapse. We have the same old faces of the old regime being part and parcel of a new interim government, and people are very upset about that. They want to see genuine change brought about.
Nabila Ramdani joining us from London. Great talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.